Folks, a little bit more stable today. We're using the smaller camera. The video quality might not be as good, but oh, screw you, my hands are getting tired. It's only 4:30. I'm going to keep working for another half an hour to 45 minutes at least before it starts getting really dark, but I figured I'd better film before it gets too dark to do so. So this is what we've got done today. Looks like a complete mess there, but what you're looking at is I believe it's 2 by 3 inch or 1.5 by 3 inch framing material that I got for free off my mate Andy. Adhered to the back of that really sexy bit of plywood that I showed in yesterday's video. I painted the back of it, which is now underneath all of this foam, with paint, because it's not what do you call it, not treated plywood, so you get really nice looking ply instead of say over here on this treated wood. You notice particularly on this bit here, you can probably see that's got that greenish tinge to it, which is really ugly if you want to say have that for your floor inside and polyurethane it and make it look pretty. So I went for untreated ply. Usually I would have gone for a 7 or a 9mm floor, but this time I went for a 12, so it's not going to be very flexible, which is good. It means we don't have to frame as much. So yeah, we've polyurethane the side that'll face up and be the floor, and then we've painted the edges black, and we've painted the back of it black. Then I've attached all of this framing wood to it, which we can get up close to here. So I only had some 2.1 meter lengths, mostly, so I had to make a doubler to get it out to 2.4. Or again, for the Americans, just because you're special, that would be, I had 7 foot lengths and I had to make a doubler to get it out to 8 foot. And then some other pieces there to get my roughly 1.2 meter span across, slightly less than obviously because of the wood thickness there. So 4 foot for the Americans. And then I've taken all of this recycled polystyrene, we've got a whole bunch of it left over there as well, from the old house that got destroyed, and recovered, I would say at least 30% of so far of the polystyrene that we went into the old house has now been recovered into my floor insulation, and then all painted up to make it look a bit neater. And again, I've painted everything, even though the framing timber is treated. I've painted it anyway, just to belt and braces. Makes everything look a bit neater anyway, ish. And painted the foam and stuff as well, just to sort of this unit module, whatever you want to call it, won't ever have direct exposure to running water or rain or anything. But it will be exposed to damp. Obviously this is the underside of the house, and as we're about to see when I go over to the side, it's not very far off the ground. So yeah, so I figured I'd just paint everything to try and protect that untreated plywood. So as we can see, if we go around here, we're painted right up to the edges, and then we've masked the edge, and there's our nice looking ply for our floor. Over here I already mentioned, so we've gone down to 2 by 2 for the Americans, 50 by 50 for everybody else. Millimeter that would be framing material. I've tried to find the best bits I could, so anywhere we've got giant knots like that, it's actually facing out. Tried to sort of have the nicer looking wood facing in, because I may actually leave this natural wood finish and sand it and sort of, you know, polyurethane it, make it look kind of wood pretty-ish, although again, because it's treated wood and it has this greenish tinge to it, maybe not, I'll probably paint it. But you know, I wanted to sort of have the option. So yeah, all the stuff that basically these are the primary frame, even though they're quite shitty wood. So what happens is, as you can see, without a miter box or anything, I used a little miter saw, tenon saw type thing, and manually marked out and cut these, and it took ages and it sucked, but they are accurate, so it's good. The same at the bottom, slightly less angled edges there. But as we can see, if we sort of go over here and look at this where I've got it leaned, fold around the other way, it creates a nice angle there, which obviously we doubled out to make our A-frame. So that gives you a sense of actually just how small this unit is going to be. It is 1.2 meters or 4 foot across at the floor, but it only comes up about, oh, hang on, see, that's up on my shoulder height, so it's only about, I don't know, 1600 high, and I'm not even going to bother trying to convert that into, let me see, 12 is 4, so fucking 15 is, yeah, 5 foot, roughly 5 foot high. Internally, so I can't quite stand up inside it actually, but I can kneel up. I was testing it out today and stuff. It works real good. So tomorrow all of that is going to get attached to the other side of this board, which will be in place on the site, which I'm going to show you in a bit, and then we'll start putting the struts that go between, hold everything together, and cladding on the planks that actually make these A-frame shapes strong, as opposed to just skinny little thingamajigam wood. And then obviously we go through and tech screw on all of that clear plastic. So it's possible actually that by tomorrow, which will be day 3 of construction, that I'll have pretty much weather tight, ready to occupy structure that's just not insulated around the walls and stuff. Right, so let's go have a look over here. I've modified my old terrace site that I was on, I haven't actually finished the groundworks that I'm doing at the moment, but as I said, I wanted to film, make sure we've got enough light to do so. We've got enough done here to show you sort of what we're doing. So what we've got is roughly leveled out the site just dirt wise, using a shitty little level and a piece of, I hope, quite straight wood. If we pull this out of the way, you can see that we've got 2 bricks at each corner up this end, stacked too high. The bottom set are dug in so that the effect is we're 1 brick height off the ground before these bricks are what basically that floor structure we were just looking at will sit on. So at this end we've got 2 bricks, because this is the end that will have those doublers, which presents a little bit of a weakness in the structure. It shouldn't be too critical, but just to be absolutely sure, I'm double bricking this end, so that the crack where that doubler is sits sort of about here, roughly. So there's nice brick support both sides of that, so it'll be all sweet. We'll also put a brick in the centre here. It won't be double deep, it'll just be single on the top once I've compacted the dirt, to support the end. When we spin around here, you can see we've got a single double brick set at this corner. Haven't done that corner yet, just about to. And then through the centre here, I'll probably do a couple of bricks that support the centre brace of the floor, and obviously another one at the end there. What we'll also do is dig a couple of trench sections through here, so all the ground is sloped into deliberate trenches that then feed back out into the garden berm section that I'm creating over there, so that obviously we've got good drainage. The unit itself will be about 2 inches or 50 mil, as you can see where the brick is there, maybe just a bit further than that away from this jury-rigged bit of retaining wall that I created the other day. There's not a lot of really heavy-duty dirt behind there. Once you take the bricks out, there's not a lot of weight, so it doesn't have to be a lot of load. But what I'm going to do is jam a piece of foam down there to insulate against the damp dirt, and then the house will ram right up against that, and the house will actually become part of what holds up this little section of retaining wall. Just sort of put it all in there. So the idea is these plants I've quite aggressively pruned back do actually grow quite quickly. So what will happen is that will grow over one end of the house, because there's no windows or anything this end. That will come across here and connect to this one and this one. I'm going to make them meshed all together. I'm all over the back of the house and right over the top of it a little bit as well, just as long as they don't occlude the light getting to the solar panels or onto my windows. This obviously is the side that faces out to my lovely view up into the hills there and whatnot. And then this will be my entry here, and what I'm going to do is grow my rose bush, which I've pruned way back here. I think this one might be almost a bit dead actually, but it keeps coming back, so it's a hardy wee thing. That one's looking a bit better, isn't it? Anyway, I'm going to grow this sort of up in an archway into this a little bit, and basically just completely plant cover the whole area of the front where the entryway will be, which will be right about here. And I've just realised a huge problem actually, because I've got a hatch door that opens outwards and the end of the house is right there and there's plants in the way. So I think the way I designed it, it might still fit, but I'm probably going to have to take out a section of branch to make it all open properly and whatnot. But yeah, basically the idea is to have like this bushy covered front entry area and stuff, and it's not for camouflage, it's just to kind of sort of blend it into, well, sort of camouflage, yeah, to blend it into the surrounding area a bit. So anyway, as usual, as you can tell, I'm doing videos without a script and making shit up as I go along, but everything's going reasonably well so far. Anyway, that's under 10 minutes, which is actually quite brief for me. I'm going to piss off now and finish up my day's work, and we'll get back to you tomorrow with another video where I'm sure I will have made up some more crap and hopefully nothing's gone wrong. Yay!